Novak Djokovic, the world's top-ranked male tennis player, said on Tuesday that he and his wife, Jelena, had tested positive for the coronavirus after days of growing criticism over a tournament he organized, after which other players and coaches were also found to be infected. The exhibition tournament, called the Adria Tour, was supposed to bring some of the world's best players to Balkan nations, including Serbia, where Djokovic is from, and provide some income for the participants and some welcome entertainment to tennis fans who haven't seen professional games since March. No one wore face masks, and social distancing wasn't enforced in the stands during the series. Players mingled freely with each other after matches and posed for photographs with ball kids and tournament officials. There was no systematic testing done for the coronavirus on the participants before the event began, according to the organizers. Besides the Djokovics, at least 3 prominent players, Grigor Dimitrov, Borna Coric and Viktor Troicki, and 2 coaches tested positive, prompting fears among the authorities in Croatia and Serbia that the athletes may have triggered a new wave of infections.
From Djokovic there. Superb.
Novak Djokovic was born May 22, 1987, Belgrade, Yugoslavia, now in Serbia. A Serbian tennis player who was one of the game's premier performers in the early 21st century when he won 17 Grand Slam titles. Djokovic took up tennis at age 4 and quickly ascended the junior ranks. Despite the hardships that came with growing up in the war-torn Serbia of the 1990s, he became Europe's top-ranked 14 and under player, and later the number 1 16 and under player on the continent before turning professional in 2003. Djokovic entered the top 100 of the Association of Tennis Professionals, ATP, at age 18, and in July 2006, he won his first ATP event. After advancing to the semifinals at both the 2007 French Open and Wimbledon, he reached the finals of that year's US Open, but lost in straight sets to Roger Federer. Djokovic's hot play continued into 2008 as he won the first Grand Slam tournament of the year, the Australian Open, becoming the first Serbian man to win one of tennis's 4 most prestigious singles championships. In Zadar, a small coastal town in Croatia that had no confirmed infections until it hosted a leg of the competition, the authorities were left scrambling to trace and test people who might have come in contact with Dimitrov, a Bulgarian player who said on Sunday after returning to his home base in Monaco that he had tested positive. "We organized the tournament when the virus has weakened, believing that the conditions for hosting the tour had been met," Djokovic said Tuesday. "Unfortunately, this virus is still present, and it is a new reality that we are still learning to cope and live with. I am hoping things will ease with time so we can all resume lives the way they were. I am extremely sorry for each individual case of infection. I hope that it will not complicate anyone's health situation and that everyone will be fine." Djokovic said that his 2 young children, Stefan 5 years old and Tara 2 years old, had tested negative for the virus and that he would remain in isolation in Belgrade for the next 14 days. The remainder of the tour, scheduled for Banja Luka and Sarajevo in Bosnia and Herzegovina, has been cancelled. Novak Djokovic was born May 22, 1987, Belgrade, Yugoslavia, now in Serbia. A Serbian tennis player who was one of the game's premier performers in the early 21st century when he won 17 Grand Slam titles.
Oh, what a shot! Slice, forehand, pass and shot winner.
Djokovic's tennis progress plateaued for almost 3 years as he won just 10 ATP men's singles tournaments and reached only 1 Grand Slam final, the 2010 US Open, between February 2008 and the end of 2010. His fortunes turned in December 2010 when he led the Serbian Davis Cup team to the country's first Davis Cup title. His Davis Cup victories marked the beginning of a 43-match winning streak, the 3rd longest such streak in the Open era since 1968, which included a second Australian Open title in January 2011. Djokovic's remarkable streak ended with a French Open semi-final loss to Federer, but his strong play helped him rise to the number 1 world ranking shortly after he defeated Rafael Nadal to capture the 2011 Wimbledon championship. Djokovic later defeated Nadal in the US Open final to claim his 3rd Grand Slam title of the year. At the Australian Open in 2012, he again bested Nadal, winning a 5-set thriller that lasted nearly 6 hours. The two met for the fourth consecutive Grand Slam final at the 2012 French Open, where Djokovic lost to Nadal in 4 sets. In 2013, Djokovic defeated Andy Murray to win his fourth Australian Open title, and he captured another Wimbledon championship the following year when he beat Federer in a dramatic 5-set final. He again beat Murray to capture his 5th career Australian Open in 2015, which made Djokovic the all-time leader in Australian Open men's singles championships during the Open era. After a loss in the 2015 French Open final, the top-ranked Djokovic bested Federer to win his 3rd Wimbledon championship. He continued his hot play at the US Open, beating Federer in the final to capture his 10th career Grand Slam title. Djokovic ran his winning streak in Grand Slam matches to 21 when he beat Murray in straight sets in the final of the 2016 Australian Open. He again bested Murray in a Grand Slam final at the 2016 French Open, giving Djokovic a career Grand Slam with his first French Open championship. Djokovic reached the finals of the 2016 US Open but lost a 4-set match to Switzerland's Stan Wawrinka. He failed to advance past the quarterfinals in the first 3 Grand Slam tournaments of 2017, and in July he announced that he would not play the remainder of the year in order to treat an elbow injury that had been bothering him for the previous 18 months. He returned to play in January 2018. Djokovic slowly improved throughout the year, and in July he won his 4th career Wimbledon title. 2 months later he captured his 3rd US Open singles championship. In January 2019, Djokovic won his 7th career Australian Open singles title, the most in the history of that tournament. He then defended his Wimbledon title in epic fashion, defeating Federer in a 4-hour 57-minute final, the longest in tournament history, that was decided in an unprecedented tiebreaker after the 5th set ended in a 12-12 tie. In 2020, Djokovic continued to dominate at the Australian Open, winning his 17th Grand Slam title. You are invited to subscribe, share, and like. Thank you.